Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Madhava, close the window. Maybe you can turn on the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare
I
Krishna.
welcome you to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. We are reading from today's October 1st, 2025. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 9. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to South India, to holy places in South India. So we saw that Mahaprabhu is in South India and there are different types of people in South India. Mahaprabhu visited all the holy places. How many holy places? There are thousands and thousands. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, it's not possible for me to give you the chronological order of all the places visited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In summary, I can just tell you that while going and coming, he covered all the places on the left and right. This much I can tell you. But the actual chronological order of all the places, I cannot give you. For namesake, I can list some, just for namesake. But yeah. And then, what is the other important point? That whoever saw Mahaprabhu, wherever he went, they were all getting converted to Vaishnavas. Actually, in South India, there were different philosophies. There were Buddhists, there were, those following the Jain religion and those following Mayavad philosophy, many, all types of non-devotees. There were karmis, there were jnanis and non-devotees, unlimited types of non-devotees were there. But by seeing Mahaprabhu, by coming in contact with Mahaprabhu, all these different types of non-devotees turned to Vaishnavas. Okay. दक्षिण देशेर लोक अनेक प्रकार केहो ज्ञानी केहो कर्मी पाषंडी अपार से सब लोक प्रभुर दर्शन प्रभावे by the influence of his darshan निज निज मत छाड़ी होइलो वैष्णवे, giving up their respective faiths or philosophies, whatever they were following, whether they were karmis or jnanis or atheists, it didn't matter, whoever, whatever they were following, they gave up all that and they became Vaishnavas. So now we will continue from there. What happened after that? Let me share the screen. वैष्णवेर मध्य राम-upāsaka saba keho tattvavādī keho hoy śrī-vaiṣṇava. Okay, so there were many non-devotees, there were karmis and jnanis, but also there were some Vaishnavas in South India. And amongst the Vaishnavas also there are different types of Vaishnavas. Vaiṣṇavera madhye rāma-upāsaka saba, so worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra, keho tattvavādī keho hoy śrī-vaiṣṇava. Some were tattvavādī. Tattvavādī means, so one group of followers of Srila Madhvacharya, they are tattvavādīs. And another group is śrī-vaiṣṇavas. So let us see what is the difference. Srila Prabhupada will explain in the purport. Translation. At the time, all the South Indian Vaishnavas were worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. So whoever was a Vaishnava in South India, they were all worshipping Lord Rāmacandra. All Vaishnavas in South India, all South Indian Vaishnavas were worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. Actually, well, I cannot say to this day because I have not been there for many years now. Although, I was born and brought up in South India, but I haven't been there for many years now. But from the last time that I was there, if there are any Vaishnavas, you will see, like if you see any Vishnu temples there, you will see temples of Lord Rāmacandra. You will see temples of Lord Rāmacandra. Or in villages, anywhere. In each neighborhood, if they have a temple, normally you will see there will be a temple of Lord Rāmacandra. And also, I'm talking especially, in villages where there are, traditionally people who are living, it's very common to see Lord Ramachandra's temples. And also they celebrate, like how we have Ratha Yatras here, they celebrate, Lord Ramachandra, Sita Devi and Lakshman, they dress up and, they go on a chariot. It's a very common scene. As I grew up, this is what I saw. I don't know the present situation because time is changing so rapidly. So I don't know what, especially now with the internet and everything, things are changing drastically. So I don't know the situation. But the point is, all the South Indian Vaishnavas were worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. Some were tattvavādīs and some were followers of Rāmānujācārya. So śrī-vaiṣṇavas means followers of Rāmānujācārya. So let's read. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur points out that the word tattvavādī refers to the followers of Srila Madhvacharya. So actually, in the followers of Madhvacharya also, you have two groups. So Tattvavādīs is a separate group. They're also followers of Madhvacharya, but that's a separate group. So Tattvavādī refers to the followers of Srila Madhvacharya to distinguish his disciplic succession from the Mayavadi followers of Shankaracharya. Srila Madhvacharya named his party the Tattvavādīs to distinguish his disciplic succession from Mayavadi followers of Shankaracharya. Srila Madhvacharya named his party the Tattvavādīs. Impersonal monists are always attacked by these tattvavādīs. So what do the tattvavādīs do? So this is tattvavādīs means this is dvaitavada. They establish. So the monists say, their philosophy is advaitavada. Advaita means only Brahman is true. There's only one, right? So they don't see the difference between Atma and Paramatma. There's only one, Brahman. Dvaitavada means no, clearly there is distinction. There's two, right? There is the Supreme Lord and then there is the living entity. So impersonal monists are always attacked by these tattvavādīs. Tattvavādīs are followers of, or the disciplic succession coming from Srila Madhvacharya, and they're always attacking the impersonal monists. So impersonal monists are always attacked by these tattvavādīs who attempt to defeat their philosophy of impersonalism. Generally, they establish the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya is known as the Brahma Vaishnava sect. Okay? The followers of Madhvacharya are normally actually known as Brahma Vaishnava sect. That is the sect coming down from Lord Brahma. Consequently, the Tattvavādīs or followers of Madhvacharya do not accept the incident of Lord Brahma's illusion, which is recorded in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is how they differ. The Tattvavādīs, even though they are also followers of Madhvacharya, the Tattvavādī group, they don't accept the Brahma Vimohan Leela from the 10th canto, where Lord Brahma, coming under the Lord's Maya. Of course, we understand Brahmaji is put into this illusion by the Lord himself for the sake of the pastime. So it's not that Brahmaji was actually bewildered by, because of his ignorance and now he is in illusion. It's not like that. Why? Because Brahmaji, we are talking about Brahmaji of our universe, particularly our Brahmaji. He already got darshan of the Lord at the time of creation. And in that darshan we see, he sees the Supreme Lord. And actually, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says he actually got darshan of Golok Vrindavan, of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. So Brahmaji is a pure devotee. So how can he come in illusion? So therefore, the Tattvavādī group rejects that incident. They don't accept that incident ever happened. So this is there in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, but they don't accept that. But what is the explanation of our acharyas about Brahmaji's falling, in illusion? Again, that is done by the Lord's will. It's given by the Lord. It's given by the Lord to Brahmaji, like that. That's not his bewilderment or anything. But at the beginning of creation, when he is not able to see anything, yes, at that time he didn't have any, enlightenment. Then by the Lord's mercy, when the Lord revealed himself, then he got darshan of the Lord. So then after all that, now again he's coming under one more point. We see in the 9th chapter of the 3rd canto, after Brahmaji gets darshan of the Lord, he is praying to the Supreme Lord that, my Lord, give me the potency to create. And then he's saying, may I not forget the knowledge that you have given me. And then he says, the last thing was, please say something, right? Open your eyes, you glance at me mercifully, and you give me some instruction. That means now you go and create. Like that you instruct me. I want to hear your sweet voice, your instructions coming from you. And there's one more thing that he says, I may not fall a victim of Maya. So these 4 requests, prayers Brahmaji makes when he gets darshan of the Lord within his heart. So at that time, the Lord assures Brahmaji that whatever you have prayed for, I have already given you. You don't have to worry. You will not be a victim of Maya. Like that. So now, if the Lord has given him this assurance, how can he once again be bewildered? The Lord actually tells him, you will never be victimized by Maya. You will not come under illusion. Then how is it possible that after the Lord gives him this assurance, once again he's becoming bewildered? In the 10th canto we see. So that means that is given by the Lord. It's the Lord's pastime with his devotee. It's not that out of, because of Maya's, because of being covered by Maya, now Brahmaji is getting bewildered. It is not like that. That is the explanation of our acharyas. However, the tattvavādīs, they just don't accept this particular pastime that Brahmaji ever got, illusion. They don't accept that pastime. Why they don't accept that? Because they are Brahma Madhva, they are coming from Madhvacārya. Madhvacārya is coming in the line of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is the original Acharya, right? The pioneer Acharya of our line. So how can the Acharya be bewildered? So therefore they don't accept that like that. Okay. So consequently, the Tattvavādīs or followers of Madhvacārya do not accept the incident of Lord Brahma's illusion, which is recorded in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Madhvacārya has purposefully avoided commenting on that portion of Srimad Bhagavatam in which Brahma Mohana, the illusion of Lord Brahma, is mentioned. So Srila Madhvacārya also, he has given commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, but he didn't comment on that section of Srimad Bhagavatam. He didn't give any commentary on Brahma Vimohan Leela. Srila Madhavendra Puri, who's Srila Madhavendra Puri, also coming in the same line, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, he's coming in the same line. And Srila Madhavendra Puri is the spiritual master of Srila Ishwara Puri. Srila Ishwara Puri is the spiritual master of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srila Madhavendra Puri. Also, we read about the glories of Srila Madhavendra Puri in a previous chapter, in the Madhya Kanda itself. This worshipping Radha Krishna, worshipping of Krishna in a conjugal relationship, in Madhurya Rasa, that begins from Madhavendra Puri. Prior to that, in this Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, there is no worship of Radha and Krishna. There is no worship of Krishna in Madhurya Rasa. We will see, even in Udupi, Krishna is child Krishna. Vatsalya Rasa is there. But not Radha Krishna. That's not there in this Sampradaya. When did that begin? Srila Madhavendra Puri is the first devotee in this line, from whom this, that means he is the first devotee who is elevated to that level in this whole Sampradaya. And from him, the seed is passed down, right? So then Ishwara Puri, and of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord who accepted initiation in this line. And then Mahaprabhu's disciples, the 6 Goswamis, Rupa Goswami. So we are all called Rupanugas, followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, like that. So Srila Madhavendra Puri was one of the acharyas in the Tattvavāda disciplic succession, and he established the ultimate goal of transcendentalism to be attained of pure devotional service, love of Godhead. So what is the goal? Ultimate goal of transcendentalism. So if you remember the diagram, so transcendentalism begins only when you get association of sadhu. If you don't get association of sadhu, you will only remain on working on the material platform for sense enjoyment. You cannot think of liberation or going beyond this material existence. So in that also, there are various goals. Someone wants to merge into Brahman, someone wants to realize Paramatma, someone wants different types of mukti in Vaikuntha, like that. But what is the ultimate topmost goal that you can achieve? Krishna Prema. And in that also, Madhurya Rasa. Serving Radha Krishna like the gopis were serving. That is the highest. So who established this? Srila Madhavendra Puri. And Srila Madhavendra Puri comes in the disciplic succession of the Tattvavāda disciplic succession coming down from Srila Madhvacharya. Those Vaishnavas belonging to the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the disciplic succession following Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, are distinct from Tattvavādīs. This is the point. So the followers of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, known as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, this Gaudiya Sampradaya, the devotees coming in the disciplic succession of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, from Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu onwards, so this is Gaudiya Sampradaya, they are distinct from Tattvavādīs, although the origin is same. Brahma, Lord Brahma, then coming down to Srila Madhvacharya, and then further if we come down from Madhavendra Puri, Srila Madhavendra Puri onwards, then Ishwar Puri, then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers. This is Gaudiya Sampradaya. So the followers of the Gaudiya Sampradaya are distinct from the Tattvavādīs, although they belong to the same Tattvavad Sampradaya. The followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are therefore known as Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Otherwise, those who are, so the Tattvavādīs are also followers of Madhvacharya, but theirs is a different branch now. Whereas Mahaprabhu, his followers, is a different branch coming from Srila Madhvacharya. So that branch is known as Tattvavādīs, and the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are known as Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Madhva means Madhvacharya, Gaudiya means from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sampradaya. The word Pashandi refers to those who are opposed to pure devotional service. So Pashandis are those who are opposed to pure devotional service. In particular, these are the Mayavadis, the impersonalists. A definition of Pashandi is given in the Hari Bhakti Vilas 173, wherein it is stated, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivataihi Samtvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhave Dhruvam. Who is a Pashandi? What is the definition of a Pashandi? A Pashandi is one who thinks that the Supreme Lord Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is on the same level with the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. What is the second offense of, what is the second offense to the holy name? There are 10 offenses to the holy name. Second offense is to consider the glories of, to consider the names of Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva to be equal to or independent of the names of Lord Vishnu. This is an offense. If you see, sometimes, I don't know, I have not seen recent children's videos, but at one point they were making children's videos, like some different videos, like on Hanumanji and Ganeshji, like that. They would make various videos, and naively or ignorantly, devotees also think, oh, this is better than, watching some cartoons which are not devotional. So we will show these to our kids. We are making them commit offenses. Because if you see in those videos, they show Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma are all on the same level. This is an offense. To treat Lord Vishnu and other demigods, even up to Lord Shiva, or Lord Brahma on the same level as Lord Vishnu is offense. And people who consider like that are known as Pashandis. Pashandi means, what did Srila Prabhupada say? Atheists or Mayavadis, he said. Yeah. So a Pashandi is one who thinks that the Supreme Lord Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is on the same level with the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. A devotee never considers Lord Narayan to be on the same platform with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So you are all familiar with this, I'm assuming, because you have heard several times, but I will, repetition doesn't hurt. Important points have to be repeated. So I'll just, am I sharing my diagram? The transcendental diagram? You're seeing? No?
No, Mother.
I have to
No.
stop that and share again. Okay. So what happens is, those who consider the demigods and the Supreme Lord on the same level, why they are Pashandis? Not that, what do you mean by Pashandi? Pashandi means he's a non-devotee, he's an atheist, not necessarily atheist. Theist means one who accepts the Vedas. Atheist means one who does not accept the Vedas, who does not follow the Vedas. That is an atheist. Nirishvaravadi. Nirishvaravadi means who does not accept the personality of the Lord, the personal form of the Lord, one who does not accept. So the Mayavadis, they don't accept the body of the Lord to be transcendental. That's the problem. And our bodies, I had explained it recently in the last class in the temple, but I'll just repeat it one more time here in our class. So, so according to Mayavad philosophy, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, isn't it? Brahma Satyam. That means the absolute truth is only Brahman and everything else is false, right? So they say Jagat Mithya, it's false. So except for Brahman, everything else is false. How is that? So they say originally there is only Brahman. When this Brahman is reflected on Vidya, then that Brahman is known as, that reflection of Brahman is known as Ishvara. Ishvara means all forms of the Lord, whether Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, Lord Rāmacandra, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, all forms, Lord Krishna, Lord Rāmacandra, everything. So this is Vidya. So what is Vidya? So Maya has Vidya, Avidya. Yes, Vidya, Avidya. This is Maya's components. Vidya, Avidya, and also Prakriti. But anyway, here for now, let's just take Vidya, Avidya are nothing but components of Maya. So Vidya is goodness. Avidya is ignorance plus some passion. So this is Maya, this is Vidya portion of Maya, this is Avidya portion of Maya. Avidya is represented as various antahakaranas. Antahakaranas means subtle bodies. There are different subtle bodies. Each one of us has a different subtle body. This is Brahman. So when this Brahman is reflected on the antahakaranas that are made of avidya, then that reflection is known as jiva, they say. Mayavad philosophy. This is jiva. And when Brahman is reflected on vidya, that Brahman is known as Ishvara. What is vidya? Vidya is goodness. Avidya is ignorance and passion. So this is simply reflection, means basically what is jiva? Jiva is nothing but reflection of Brahman on avidya. Ishvara, that means the body of the Lord, is reflection of Brahman on goodness. So it is just reflection. Does reflection have any existence? Is reflection a real thing? No. Reflection is, you cannot fill your stomach with the reflection of food. You need real food, isn't it? So they say this Ishvara and Jivas are reflections. So here the problem is Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Lord Rāmacandra, Lord Narasimha, and also demigods here. So this demigods will come here. So you'll have Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and all you and me, animals, birds, insects, everyone. All these are bodies, right? That is made of avidya. Antakarna, you have subtle and gross bodies made of avidya. When Brahman is reflected on avidya, it is known by all these different names. Brahman reflected on avidya is known by these different names. Brahman reflected on vidya is known by these names. Narayan, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, like that. So you have to get rid of Maya. So you have to get rid of avidya and you have to get rid of vidya also. So when avidya is removed, here what will remain? When avidya is removed, what will remain? Tell me. When avidya is removed, what will remain?
Goodness.
No, here on this side.
Oh.
This side. Here, this side. When avidya is removed, avidya is made of ignorance and passion. When avidya is removed, what is remaining?
Brahman.
Brahman. And here when vidya is removed, what is remaining?
Brahman.
Brahman only. That means ultimately there's only Brahman. This is simply reflections. Whatever you are seeing in this world, whether you're seeing Lord Vishnu's form, Krishna's form, Rama's form, or your form, my form, bird's form, animal's form, all these forms are nothing but Maya. Ma means no, Yaha means this. Means this is not, this does not exist. Maya means what? That which is not. That means all these things are just illusions. That's why they say Jagat Mithya. It is false, they say. Whatever you are seeing, all the forms in this world, it is false. It's just like a dream. It's not reality. So same they say about the Lord also, his form. Lord Narayan, Lord Matsya, Lord Kurma, Lord Krishna. These forms are also material. That means they're equating. The form of Narayan, Lord, and form of the demigods and all other forms also. They're all, after all, material. You have to get rid of both Vidya and Avidya, and ultimately you'll realize you're only Brahman. This is Mayavad philosophy, and anyone who follows this Mayavad philosophy is a Pashandi. Now, if somebody is equating that the demigods chanting, whether you're chanting the names of Durga, Durga, Kali, Kali, Shiva, Shiva, or you're chanting Krishna, Krishna, it is the same. You do Krishna Kirtan, we do Kali Kirtan. Can you say like that? Those who say like that, they are Pashandis, because they are equating the demigods with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the fact is, the demigods are all living entities. They are also living entities. Yes, they are empowered with the potency of the Lord. Small portion. That is why they are called Vibhuti. Vibhuti means they are given with special extra potency of the Supreme Lord, but very small quantity. Because it is such a small quantity, you cannot call them avatar. They are not called Shaktyavesha avatar. Shaktyavesha avatars are also living entities that are given with the potency of the Lord, but there the potency is more. There is considerable amount of potency so that they qualify as avatars of the Lord. But if the potency is very, very minute, you cannot call it an avatar. They are called a vibhuti. So in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter, there's a whole list of vibhutis. Amongst all daityas, I am Prahlad. Among all beasts, I am the lion. Among all stars, I am the moon. So the moon, the lion, Prahlad, they're all vibhutis. That means they have special potency, extra potency, which is not there in ordinary living beings. They have additional potency. That is why they are vibhuti. Whenever you see anything extraordinary, you should understand that is the Lord's vibhuti. Shaktyavesha avatar means there's more potency. Okay. So, we were talking about, Srila Prabhupada is talking about Pashandis here. So, I was telling you, anyone who treats Lord Vishnu on the same level as the demigods is called a Pashandi. A Pashandi is one who thinks that the Supreme Lord Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is on the same level with the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. That is a Pashandi. A devotee never considers Lord Narayan to be on the same platform with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. No. No. That doesn't mean you disrespect them or anything. No. Fact is fact. Lord Shiva, if you worship Lord Shiva as a Vaishnava, yes, that's glorious. If you offend Lord Shiva, the Lord is not going to be happy. Don't offend Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva is a Vaishnava. But at the same time, you cannot worship Lord Shiva as the Supreme Lord. Those who call themselves Shaivites, they are worshipping Lord Shiva as the Supreme. And they see him as an independent Lord. Maybe even as a competitor of Lord Vishnu. That's not right. That's wrong. That's offense. They are Pashandis. Pashandis. A devotee never considers Lord Narayan to be on the same platform with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The Madhvacharya Sampradaya and Rāmānujācārya Sampradaya are mainly worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. Both. So the Tattvavādīs and the śrī-vaiṣṇavas in South India, both are worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. Although the śrī-vaiṣṇavas are supposed to be worshippers of Lord Narayan and Lakshmi, and the Tattvavādīs are supposed to be worshippers of Lord Krishna. Yes? Like in Udupi Krishna. Madhvacharya's followers worship Udupi Krishna. And Rāmānujācārya's worshippers follow Lakshmi Narayan, like Ranganath, right? Or Lord Balaji. So, although śrī-vaiṣṇavas are supposed to be worshippers of Lakshmi Narayan, Tattvavādīs are supposed to be worshippers of Lord Krishna, but we see that mainly both of them are worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. At present, in most of the monasteries belonging to the Madhva Sampradaya, Lord Rāmacandra is worshipped. At present, when Srila Prabhupada wrote this. In the book known as Adhyatma Ramayana, there are statements in chapters 12 to 15. 12 to 15 chapters of Adhyatma Ramayana. There are statements about worshipping the deities of Sri Ramacandra and Sita. There it is stated that during Lord Ramachandra's time, so this pastime, very nice. There it is stated that during Lord Ramachandra's time, no problem, Mataji, thank you. There is stated that during Lord Ramachandra's time, there was a Brahmana who took a vow to fast until he saw Lord Ramacandra. That means every day, like you go and take darshan of the Lord in the morning, like that this is at the time of Lord Ramacandra, when Lord Ramacandra was performing pastimes on this earth. So this Brahmana would every day go, so Lord Ramacandra is the king. right? He was ruling Ayodhya. So every day he would go and he would take darshan of Lord Ramacandra. Only after taking darshan of Lord Ramacandra would he break his fast. That means he would take something, he would eat anything. If he didn't take darshan of Lord Ramacandra, he would not eat anything. He would fast. So sometimes, due to business, Lord Ramacandra was absent from his capital for a full week. So Lord Ramacandra would have to go out of Ayodhya and he would be absent for a whole week. And this Brahmana, because he was not able to take darshan of Lord Ramacandra, he would not eat all week. So Lord Ramacandra was absent from his capital for a full week and could not be seen by the citizens during that time. Because of his vow, the Brahmana could not take even a drop of water during that week. Can you imagine? Not just one full day like Janmashtami or Pandav Nirjala Ekadasi, but for the whole week he didn't take even a drop of water, because his vow was until and unless he got darshan of the Lord, that day he would not eat anything. So for one full week he didn't eat or drink even a drop of water. Later, after 8 or 9 days, when the Brahmana could see Lord Ramacandra personally, he would break his fast. Upon observing the Brahmana's rigid vow, Lord Sri Ramacandra ordered his younger brother Lakshman to deliver a pair of Sitaram deities to the Brahmana. So these Sitaram deities were in Lord Ramachandra's. So these deities were being worshipped. These Sitaram deities were being worshipped in Lord Ramachandra's dynasty. That means before him Dashrath Maharaj and before him his ancestors, like that. I believe these deities were being worshipped by Ikshvaku even. Ikshvaku is the son of Manu. Vivaswan's son is Manu, Vaivasvata Manu. Vaivasvata Manu's son is Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is, so this is the solar Surya Vamsa. So the deities were being passed on generation after generation. They were being worshipped. Lord Ramachandra's deities were worshipped. Sitaram deities were being worshipped. And in that same line, Lord Ramacandra appeared. Because he was personally there, so he just put the deities in the bedroom, in his bedroom. He just kept them there because he was now personally present. But when he saw this Brahmana, then Lord Ramacandra, what did he do? He told Lakshman, his younger brother Lakshman, to deliver the same deities, Sitaram deities that were being worshipped in his family and that he kept in his bedroom. Those deities he told his Lakshman to give to this Brahman. The Brahmana received the deities from Sri Lakshmanji and worshipped them faithfully as long as he lived. So then also, that means now you don't have to, Lord Ramachandra's point was, now you don't have to fast because I am non-different from these deities. So if you simply take darshan of these deities, it is as good as taking darshan of me. So after taking darshan of the deities, you can take your prasadam. You don't have to fast. So the Brahmana received the deities from Sri Lakshmanji and worshipped them faithfully as long as he lived. At the end of his death, he delivered the deities to Sri Hanumanji, who for many years hung them around his neck and served them with all devotion. So Ramji gave those deities to that Brahman. That Brahman, after his death, his deities were given to Hanumanji, and Hanumanji also worshipped those deities for many years, wearing them around his neck and serving them with all devotion. After many years, when Hanumanji departed on the hill known as Gandhamadana, he delivered the deities to Bhimsen. So this is in the next Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. So Hanumanji, when he departed on the Gandhamadana hill, he gave the same Sitaram deities to Bhimsen, one of the Pandavas, and Bhimsen brought them to his palace where he kept them very carefully. The last king of the Pandavas, Kshemakanta, so last king of the Pandavas means in that line. So we know Parikshit Maharaj was the last emperor, But apparently there were kings after that also. So the last king of the Pandavas, Kshemakanta, worshipped the deities in that palace, Bhimsen's palace, where he kept the deities. So his descendants, so Kshemakanta worshipped, well, his descendants means, yeah, I don't know the details. But the last king of the Pandavas, Kshemakanta, worshipped the deities in that palace. Later, the same deities were kept in the custody of the kings of Orissa known as Gajapatis. So you see, I don't know the exact history of how these deities came to Orissa, but all we hear here is that this king Kshemakanta was worshipping these deities, and the next thing we hear is these deities are with King Gajapati or the Gajapati kings of Orissa. So what happens, when two kings fight from two different kingdoms, the winner sometimes can take the deities to his kingdom and worship in his kingdom. We see that in King Prataprudra Maharaj's or Purushottam Dev's, history. So the deities are also carried from one kingdom to another. The winner takes like that. So maybe that has happened. I don't know exactly. But this is how the Sitaram deities were passed on. So the Brahman gave to Hanumanji. From Hanumanji, the deities came to Bhimsen. Then the last king of the Pandavas is Kshemakanta. He worshipped the deities. Then the deities were kept in the custody of the kings of Orissa, Gajapatis. One of the acharyas known as Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhvacārya, received these deities from the king of Orissa. Okay? So the kings of Orissa, Gajapatis, had the deities of Sitaram, and then one of those kings handed the deities to Narahari Tirtha, who is an acharya coming in the disciplic succession of Madhvacārya. Narahari Tirtha. He got from the king of Orissa. It may be noted that these particular deities of Ram and Sita have been worshipped from the time of King Ikshvaku. Indeed, they were worshipped by the royal princes even before the appearance of Lord Rāmacandra. Later, during Lord Rāmacandра's presence, the deities were worshipped by Lakshman. So, when Lord Rāmacandra was here on the planet, Lakshman was worshipping. Now, we hear in Srila Prabhupada's, like a talk, Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Rāmacandra was keeping the deities in his bedroom. That's why I said that. But here it is also said the deities were being worshipped by Lakshman. It is said that just 3 months before his disappearance, Sri Madhvacārya received these deities and installed them in the Udupi temple. 3 months before his disappearance. So the same deities that were once worshipped by Lord Lakshman, they were received by Srila Madhvacārya just 3 months before his disappearance. And he installed them in the Udupi temple. Since then, the deities have been worshipped by the Madhvacārya Sampradaya at that monastery. As far as the śrī-vaiṣṇavas are concerned, so why we are reading this now? Because we heard that both the tattvavādīs and the śrī-vaiṣṇavas worship Lord Rāmacandra. So that's why we are reading this history. How the tattvavādīs came to worship Lord Rāmacandra, what is the history? Like this. So from the king of Orissa, the deities were given to Narahari Tirtha. That is the beginning. How in the Madhvacārya Sampradaya, Sitaram deities have come. Then from Narahari Tirtha, they were being worshipped like that. And then Srila Madhvacārya received the same deities and he installed them in Udupi temple. Since then, the deities have been worshipped by the Madhvacārya Sampradaya at that particular monastery. As far as the śrī-vaiṣṇavas are concerned, beginning with Rāmānujācārya, by the way, who is Rāmānujācārya? Rāma-Anuja, younger brother of Lord Rāmacandra, Lakshman. As far as the śrī-vaiṣṇavas are concerned, beginning with Rāmānujācārya, they also worship deities of Sitaram. Sitaram deities are also being worshipped in Tirupati and other places. From the Sri Rāmānuja Sampradaya, there is another branch known as Ramanandi. So that's another branch. We read about them when we read, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan's Govinda Bhashya. In that history, we will read about Ramanandis. Comes in the story of Baladev Vidyabhushan. From the Sri Rāmānuja Sampradaya, there is another branch known as Ramanandi or Ramat, and the followers of that branch also worship deities of Sitaram very rigidly. Ramanandis. Okay. The Rāmānuja Sampradaya Vaishnavas prefer the worship of Lord Rāmacandra to that of Radha Krishna. Yes. So all this, what was the verse? So at that time, all the South Indian worshippers Vaishnavas were worshippers of Lord Rāmacandra. That's why we read about the history of the deities of Sitaram. Some were tattvavādīs and some were followers of Rāmānujācārya, the South Indian Vaishnavas. But both tattvavādīs and the śrī-vaiṣṇavas worshipped Lord Rāmacandra. I think we can stop there today. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Mataji, why did Madhvacharya avoid commenting on Brahma's illusion, that Brahma Mohan Lila in Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I can only guess, but I don't know for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just as Srila Prabhupada said in the purport, because they are coming from the Brahma Sampradaya, they belong to Brahma Sampradaya. Lord Brahma is the original guru. So they don't accept, at least the tattvavādīs. Srila Prabhupada didn't say Madhvacharya didn't accept, but the tattvavādīs don't accept that Brahma Vimohan Leela, because then their founder, original Acharya, it appears that he is illusioned. So then how, then, they will not have weight, isn't it? But why Sri Madhvacharya didn't comment on that? You see, there were also, at that time, this Mayavad philosophy was, because first came Shankaracharya. Sripad Shankaracharya made this. So actually first Lord Buddha came and he said, I reject Vedas. Then by that he stopped violence and unnecessary animal sacrifices and all that. But then Vedas have to be introduced into society. So Shankaracharya came. So, but directly the Vedas could not be introduced. It would be too much of a, long jump. People would not, So at least to introduce the Vedas into society, he introduced the Vedas with this Advaita philosophy, Shariraka Bhashya, with this commentary, which is like covered atheism. Now, next, okay, one step is done, Vedas are introduced, but the next step is now you have to remove this Mayavad philosophy. The Vedas will stay, but the Mayavad philosophy has to be removed. For that, you need a very stalwart Acharya, a powerful Acharya who will completely defeat this Advaita philosophy. So that was Madhvacharya. And his followers are tattvavādīs. We also read in the purport that they are constantly defeating the Mayavadis. So maybe I don't know, I'm guessing, but maybe this would look like a, what do you say, like a weak point. Maybe that's why he didn't comment on that. When we are studying within our, what do you say, family of Vaishnavas, then the commentary given by our acharyas, we will just accept it. But when your opponent is from outside, then for you to make your point, you have to establish it on the basis of, on what do you say, on the basis of the Vedas. So, for example, whenever there's a debate, first of all, you have to establish your pramana, and based on that pramana, then you debate, isn't it? So, Vedanta, both are theists, they accept the Vedas. The Vedanta is the platform for them to debate. So, this is Madhvacharya's time, before, even Srila Jiva Goswami, before Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, before Madhavendra Puri. And their opponent was Mayavadis. That's my guess. If I hear more, if I find out
Yeah,
more, I can.
is it okay to assume, like in the line of your thoughts, that in order to protect his master, which is Brahma, the Madhva,
Yeah,
his image or his authority, he didn't
correct.
want to make a commentary on that. Is that
Yes.
okay?
Of course, that's why I said,
Mm.
now we understand from the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and our Vaishnava Acharyas, we understand that pastime did happen, but that doesn't mean that Brahmaji is actually illusioned. And because we are, coming in that line, we happily accept that. Just like Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is a Gaudiya scripture. Gaudiya devotees in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, they will immediately accept anything which is given by the Acharyas from the Gaudiya Sampradaya. But when you go outside Gaudiya Sampradaya, if your opponent is outside of Gaudiya Sampradaya, then you won't be able to quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita to prove your point. There you will have to quote from Srimad Bhagavatam or from the Vedanta Sutras. You will have to prove from that to make the point. You understand? So that is why, because the opponent was Advaitins, Shankaracharya's followers, so that would make our position weaker. Brahmaji having, that he was illusioned like that.
So, Mataji, a little different question here. The Madhvacharya's philosophy is Dvaitavad, which is eternally the soul and the supreme soul are
Different.
independent. Yeah, different.
Yeah.
Different. And for the Sri Sampradaya, it is Vishitta Dvaita. What does Vishitta Dvaita mean?
Vishishta Advaita, and then there is the Kumara Sampradaya, I think Dvaita Advaita, and Dvaitavad is Madhvacharya, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's is Achintya Bheda Abheda.
Right.
So there is some slight difference, but Vishishta Advaita, that means here Madhvacharya is strictly Dvaitavad, that means absolute difference. But when you say Vishishta Advaita, that means you are accepting the non-difference, but with some there's a Vishishta Advaita. It's not simply Advaita like the Mayavad philosophers say, that there is absolutely no difference. It's not like that. There is no difference, but it's special non-difference. That means there is also some difference. There is room for difference also. Non-difference and difference are being accepted. So in all the others, you'll see Dvaita, Advaita means also there is difference. Advaita, Dvaita and Advaita, both are there. Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishta, Advaita. But the clear explanation, complete explanation is given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he says Achintya. The word Achintya is said. Bheda, Abheda. That's like Dvaita and Advaita, Vishishta, Advaita, like that one, similar only, where you're saying both are present. But Mahaprabhu's contribution is, he said, Achintya. Achintya Bheda Abheda. That means simultaneous. This is inconceivable. You won't be able to understand how it is. It's not possible for you. Achintya, Bheda and Abheda, both are there simultaneously. So exactly what the philosophy is, I won't be able to explain. I don't know. But in these lines, that there is difference also, but there is also non-difference. But that is completely properly and without any doubt perfectly explained only by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the ultimate. There's nothing beyond that. It cannot get any better than that. That's final. Achintya Bheda Bheda philosophy solves everything. That's the culmination.
So with Visishta Advaita, there is difference, but there is
Also oneness.
oneness. Okay.
Special. So different. Vishishta Advaita. It's Advaita. That means there is no difference, but it's Vishishta Advaita. That means there is also some similarity also.
Okay.
Haripal Mataji,
Yes,
I have
Mataji.
one question.
Yes, Mataji.
Please accept my humble pranam. You said we belong to Brahma, what is it?
Madhva.
Gaudiya Sampradaya.
Brahma
Right?
Madhva Gaudiya
Madhva
Sampradaya.
Sampradaya. Then what is that Tattva Sampradaya? It's
Tattvavādīs.
almost that is closer to our Sampradaya, but we also, we
Thank you,
worship only Radha and Krishna, but we also accept Lord Rāmacandra, right?
Yes.
And I am little confused which bhava we are worshipping. What is that? Madhurya bhava of Krishna. We don't accept any other way, any other thing. I'm little confused about that.
Okay. So, Krishna has different age groups. His pastimes, childhood pastimes, youth pastimes, Pauganda Leela pastimes, like that. Various age, at various age, there are different pastimes that Krishna performs. And the highest, the sweetest is his youth pastimes, which he performs with the gopis. So, when you say that you are worshipping Krishna in Madhurya Rasa, that automatically includes all the other rasas in it. There is no question of rejecting other rasas. Just like when you say $100, it automatically includes $10, $20, $50. It's there in it automatically. It's understood. So when you say Madhurya Rasa includes all the qualities and all the sweetness of the other rasas. It's included in Madhurya Rasa. So there is no question of rejecting or not accepting others. It's there, it's included in that. Plus it has more than what the others have. So we are not rejecting anything, but this is higher because it includes all those rasas, plus there is more. And when are we worshipping Krishna and Madhurya Rasa? That is the seed that we got. Because we are followers of Rupa Goswami, Rupa Anugas, Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Manjaris are assisting the gopis in serving Radha Krishna. They are assisted, young girls, like 7-year-old, 8-year-old, like that, small girls, who are assisting in the service of, assisting the gopis in serving Radha Krishna. These are the Manjaris. So does that mean now we have to meditate like that? No, it's not that we have to meditate like that, because according to our stage, we will be rendering devotional service as per the guidance of Acharya. So right now, what we have to do is we have to, because we are filled with so many anarthas at this stage, we understand that that is the goal, that is where we would like to be, that is the topmost position that one can. You have seen the last chapter that we read, conversation between Sri Ramananda Rai and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Ramananda Rai established that the topmost is to engage in the service of Radha Krishna in the mood of the gopis. That is the highest. How can one get that? That one can get only by rendering service to the devotees coming in disciplic succession from the gopis. They can only render service like that. Otherwise, it's not possible. This is the highest, has already been established. If you remember, there it is already said about Vatsalya Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakya Rasa, everything it was said. Ultimately, we came to Madhurya Rasa. So that is highest. There is no doubt about that. So we will know that that is where we aspire to go at some point by the mercy of Vaishnavas, our Acharyas. At some point we hope to go there. But at the same time, we have to be realistic about where I am today. So right now, I am filled with anarthas, and I want to come to the stage of rendering pure devotional service, means rendering direct devotional service to Krishna without any other motives. My only aspiration is to please Krishna by my services. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the gift given to us by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. That also we saw in that pastime of conversation between Sri Ramananda and Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu asked the question. So the culmination is this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If we can chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly, this will open up the door to everything. But to be able to chant consistently, continuously, we need that faith. So to build that faith, we have to hear more and more about the glories of Krishna, about the glories of bhakti, about the glories of the holy name. And by hearing and side by side chanting, that's what we are doing. And by doing this, as our faith increases, we will render more and more service. And even when one begins pure devotional service, in the initial stages, it's not that immediately you start meditating on, oh, now I'm, a Manjari in Madhurya Rasa, I'm serving Krishna. No. Initially, everyone is serving Krishna in the mode of a servant. Servitorship, as I told you, in Madhurya Rasa, all other rasas are there. That means servitorship is also included in Madhurya Rasa. So when we start worshipping, we worship Krishna. He is the Supreme Lord and we are the Dasya, servants. So with that mode, we render service to Krishna. And then we endeavor to do direct seva to Krishna. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archam. 24 hours, we endeavor to do that. And as we keep doing that, when we come to the stage of doing that 24 hours, all our anarthas, they are removed. And then we go to higher and higher stages. We become steady, nishtha. Then we get taste. Then we get attachment. Attachment directly to the personality, to Krishna, to Radha Krishna, will get attachment. And like that, then we go higher and higher. Then when we come to bhava stage, even before that, when you get that attachment at that stage, you will start practicing serving the Lord. So at that stage, maybe we can start now meditating as in Madhurya Rasa, I'm serving Krishna as like a maid servant. like a manjari, like that. That too, following in the footsteps of a guru, a Brajbasi guru who's guiding how to do. So there's a long journey to go
Yeah.
there, but just to give you a roadmap of where we are, aspiring to go. But at the same time, as of now, we should work on hearing properly, and by that increasing our faith, so that will reflect on how much we are surrendered. That faith, the symptom of our faith will be seen in how much we are surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Surrender, in one sense, whatever comes, you just accept it as Krishna's mercy. This is a symptom of surrender. Anything that happens, whether good, bad, pain, pleasure, you take it all as Krishna's mercy. If you're getting some, material things, comforts or wealth or, whatever, this is all coming by the mercy of Krishna. And if you get some pain, some reversals, this is also Krishna's mercy, because by this, he is trying to make me detached from this material world so that I can become more dependent on the Lord. So this is the vision of a devotee. So the more we are able to accept whatever is coming in our life, whether pain or pleasure, profit or loss, right? Praise or insult, if I'm able to accept everything as the mercy of the Lord and turn my heart towards the Supreme Lord, then I can understand I'm moving towards surrendering to Him. And the more we surrender, when we come to full surrender, then we begin pure devotional service. And from then on, things will be revealed. So as of now, our mood is servants only. He is the master, we are servants. Like that.
Mataji, this is coming back to the talk. In the last session, you were talking to Amala Sundari. I got a chance to go over the YouTube chapter. At that time, you were talking to her about, she was also asking questions about some of the karmas. Is it because of my past karma I am going through certain suffering? Or Krishna is giving a special mercy on me, so he wants me to go through that, so I become a better person, so I can serve him better. This is the question I was having also.
Yeah.
If I am going through something or some other, I'm not a no way any great devotee or anything, but I do accept Krishna. But the thing is, sometimes we go through so much of pain, we shouldn't consider that as our previous karmas, as a result of what I did in my previous life, I'm going through that. Sometimes I used to wonder also, is it because, as you say, you were discussing with her, maybe Krishna wants me to grow better. He wants me to have a better knowledge of him. So he is making me a better person. So he's giving me all this, pain, or either bodily pain or some of the mental pain he is giving, so that I'll be a better person, so I can serve him better. But which is the one that I should consider first? I was
Brahmaji,
always thinking my previous karma is acting upon me.
that's true. Previous karma is acting. So one thing that Srila Prabhupada says is, when we take to Krishna consciousness, even when we surrender to Krishna, certainly the karma cycle will be stopped, but still some little remnants, reactions will be lingering a little bit. Just like you turn off the fan, there's no more electricity flowing, but still the fan moves for some time before it comes to a complete stop. That means, yes, that karmic cycle, when you surrender to Krishna, that karmic cycle is stopped. That means you are not being judged based on your karma, that now because you did that, you have to suffer this, only then it will be nullified. It's not like that. You're not under the jurisdiction of karma, or Yamaraj is not judging a devotee. But the Lord takes charge of that devotee. He can use, he can keep, he can just kick away all your karmic results or in some cases he may reserve some for the sake of bringing you to higher and higher stages of bhakti. It's completely in his hands. He can decide. And it's not that he has to he should apply the same formula for everyone. No, not like that. It is completely custom made, individual for each person. For one person, you can even see Sudama Vipra is a pure devotee. Ambarish Maharaj is also a pure devotee. Ambarish Maharaj has all the wealth. He is a big king, an emperor with all opulences. Sudama Vipra is so poverty stricken, he doesn't even have proper clothes to wear, and not even proper food to eat. But what is the consciousness? Both of them are completely surrendered. Even though Ambarish Maharaj is in all opulences, his consciousness is 24/7 with all his senses. His eyes, his nose, his tongue, his ears, his hands, legs, his mind, his heart, everything at every moment is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Even though he has such a big kingdom and beautiful wife and opulences and everything, his complete meditation and engagement is 24/7 only in serving the Supreme Lord. And even his kingdom, how his kingdom is running, Sudarshan Chakra, the Lord appointed Sudarshan Chakra personally to protect the kingdom against the enemies or, things like that. Because Ambarish Maharaj is completely engaged in devotional service. And what about Sudama Vipra? He was so poverty stricken. He didn't have even proper clothes, no food to feed his family. Then what was his mood? When his wife said, go to your friend, he's a king in Dwaraka now, he can help you with something. He was not going there to ask Krishna for something. Rather, he was very pleased that now I will get a chance to see my dear friend once again. So his anticipation was, I will get to see Krishna. Not that I can go and get something from him so that, I'm suffering. That was not his mood at all. So you see, the thing is, whether Krishna is keeping someone in poverty or he's keeping in opulence, the consideration is to keep him Krishna conscious and to bring him to higher and higher stages of bhakti. So he can reserve some of those karmic reactions in the case of one devotee to help him to come to higher stages of bhakti. Whereas in other devotees' case, then maybe that's not needed. He may not use it. It's individual, completely. Personally, he's dealing with each person.
Okay.
But this way or that way, important thing to be noted is Brahmaji is saying, yesterday what I told was, when Amarasundari Mataji asked, yesterday's class was this Tattenu Kampa Susamikshamana, that verse. This is in Brahma Vimohan Leela only. After Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Brahmaji is offering prayers, Brahmaji is saying, who deserves to go back to Godhead? One whose mood is, whenever difficulties, reversals come in life, he's not at all complaining to Krishna. Rather, he's thinking, my Lord, because of my own past activities, actually I should have suffered millions of times more. But somehow or other, because by your mercy I have taken shelter of you, you have reduced my suffering to just a small token of suffering. I should have suffered much, much more. You are so kind. So on one hand, he's going through this difficult, severe suffering, but in that difficulty also, he is expressing his gratitude to the Supreme Lord and bowing down before him. I should have suffered much, much more. You are so kind that you have reduced it to this much. When a devotee is able to accept all reversals in life with this attitude and still remain grateful to the Lord and bow down in front of him, when a devotee comes to this consciousness, then his going back to Godhead is guaranteed. That's the statement there. So whether my whatever difficulties or whatever is coming, is it because of my karma or not? that is not the main point here. The main point is when you take shelter of Krishna, you are in Krishna's protection. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And then still devotees are getting some difficulties means you should see that it is happening by the mercy of the Lord. Now, by the mercy of the Lord means, is he creating it or is it already there from his karma and the Lord is using? It can be either, no problem. The Lord can, use the karmic reactions, or he can just create also in the case of a devotee to help come forward. No problem. Either way. Because devotee surrendered. Surrendered means what? You can do with me whatever you like. That is surrender. So then, my Lord, you can treat me in whichever way you like. Is it my karma or is it given by him? It can be either. No problem.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Yes, I was after I heard the lecture, I was thinking a lot about things, whatever was happening. So from for the past 2 years, 3 years, so I said okay, but I do accept it. It's not that bad. I still have a food, shelter, and clothing that is provided by Krishna.
Yes.
So I cannot complain anything.
Yes.
But still, a lot of other things you have to handle everything by yourself.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that time you start thinking,
Yeah.
is it what I did that came to me? Then that's why that lecture was really good to listen to. That gave me a new perspective. Don't ponder on that idea so much.
Yes, Master.
If as long as you belong to Krishna, as long as you are surrendering to Krishna, he will be there. He is your protector. He will take care of everything.
Yes.
So that was very, and thank you so much for explaining things to us.
Thank you.
I appreciate that really. Thanks, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Very good. Thank you.
Hare
Krishna.
Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you.
Jai.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Asana Bhakti. Asana Mataji ki jai.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare